Alrighty, folks, Kathy here with Madcap Toys. I hope you're doing fantastic and are already up for a great weekend. But before we begin, if you haven't already, what are you doing? Subscribe to the Madcap Toys family. We want you to be a part of us. Also, make sure you hit the bell for all notifications, because each and every time we upload content, of course, you're going to be the first to know, and comments, you know we love them, so just keep them coming. So in the past couple days, we've had some crazy weather, and so have been busy dealing with that. We're supposed to get some more today, this afternoon. So I thought I'd come out into the barn to talk to you guys about a few things and also share with you some more what sold. So just have been busy in the thick of it. Haven't had any more sourcing buys yet. We really don't need to, honestly. We're still going through the many plethora of DVDs, CDs, vinyls that we got within the last couple of weeks. We're working on those. Daren is still continuing to refresh Mercari, doing the where they're inactive already, and then just creating new listings from the old listings to make them fresh and make sure prices and all of that is set up correctly, and moving forward from there. I do want to talk to you guys real quick about a pet peeve I have about Mercari. I hope Mercari you're listening. I didn't know but until recently that they kind of sort of got rid of priority mail. And I think that's bogus for me, because I liked using the 15 by 3 by 12 priority mail boxes that you can get at no cost, of course, at USPS.com. And also, I don't normally carry a large size of very much of the Ground Advantage brown boxes from the supplies because they cost more. I think a 16 by 8 by 12 box costs nearly about $1.50 per box. And so for me, shipping action figures that aren't worth a lot, it just doesn't make financial sense to do that, to put them in a big box like that. And a lot of them don't fit the 10 by 8 by 6s I already have. So the 15 by 3 by 12 priority mail boxes that I have, they were a perfect fit. So as you can see, if I can find one close, let's try, this one's not as big, but let's try this crimson, shall we? Like, for instance, this crimson action figure right here, it's still a little bit smaller than normal, but than I normally ship. But here's a good example. This may be too big to fit in a 10 by 8 by 6, so I have to go into a 16 by 8 by 12 Ground Advantage, which those boxes are heavier as far as weight is concerned. If I put the same item in a 15 by 3 by 12, it fits perfectly fine. It's within the range of the ounces set for the weight of the item, and of course they get the the priority mail, which in theory used to be where it used to be quicker than Ground Advantage, and getting it shipped faster. So it made sense for me. Well, now that option is gone, I hate selling these kind of items on Mercari because of that. So I was telling Daren about that, but that was one of my biggest pet peeves. Why, Mercari, would you get rid of an option like that? I'd like to know the sense about it. If you guys know more about that and why they're doing what they're doing, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to figure out why that is. It just seemed like it was a better option. They're easier to pack like that, and they're easier to deal with. So not sure as to why they did those things. So that is a rant and a grr on Mercari today. So Mercari, I don't know. You got to give me a good answer as to why you did that. Sales have been happening, continuing to be happening, consistency between Madcap Toys, Madcap Toys Plus, Poshmark, and Mercari. And we've had Mercari sales, we've had Poshmark sales, but I've been trying to catch up with you on Madcap Toys and Madcap Toys Plus. Right now, the conversion rate, and Daren and I have been talking about this, on the new store, the Madcap Toys Plus, is much greater than the regular Madcap Toy store. And we were talking about that. I considerably think this is a Kathy theory. Don't take it as gospel. But I think that the newer stores are getting more of the attention, thus the larger conversion rate in those newer stores than the older stores. Because I've been speaking with other YouTube resellers that I'm in common with, and their sales conversion is about the same as our regular Madcap Toy store. So I'm wondering if there is more of a spotlight on the new stores being created than the older stores. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that. That's the only thing I can think of. But seemingly, with less sales, like with less listings on, right now as of today, Madcap Toys Plus has over 2,011 items on, compared to Madcap Toys having 10,611 items on. But right now, the sales conversion rate on the smaller one is doing better than the older one, and the newer one has less items on than the older one. So it can't be because of items as far as how many and the quantity. I'm not really sure what it is. We sell the same pretty much things, media, toys, etc., coins. Daren has all the coins on the old site, so I know it's not the not coins, at least on Madcap Toys Plus. So I don't know really what that is, but seemingly it's been doing greater, and it has increased month over month as far as monthly sales. So so it's increasing, and that's what I want it to continue to do. That way we can take a hold or advantage of that sales conversion rate as much as possible. All right, I'm back. So yeah, so that's the biggest thing, is I think the sales conversion rate is got to be key. I don't know, as far as, you know, if I see a higher conversion rate, I'm going to go with where the wind's blowing, right? So continuing to build, of course, Madcap Toys Plus, and moving forward from that point, because want to make more sales, more money, right? All right, so guys, again, so we're going to go to Madcap Toys today. We've been selling on the other sites again, but trying to catch up both areas, because again, we've been been inconsistency when it comes to making sales everywhere. So leaning forward back over there, we have 14 items to share on the regular Madcap Toys The Godfather, and he even has some pending orders I gotta go find after I edit this video today. All right, so let's get to it. And go into the pay and ship. I had it ready. It's just, you know how phones are when they kind of shut down, and then you have to kind of deal with it all over again. It's just, it's amazing, right? All right. And you know, we're getting more weird weather today. I don't understand the weird weather happening today. We just had a couple of wicked bouts a couple days ago, thus the reason that we didn't have at least one video on this week, because of those things and worrying about power outages and all of that. All right, here we go. So we had a twofer. We had a repeat buyer happen, and he didn't buy only but one weapon. He bought two. So he asked for combined shipping. We did it. We shipped it. He's got it. He's super, super happy. This came from the Brandon buy. The very first one is the 1980s vintage Mattel Motu, standing for Masters of the Universe sword accessory. And Randy also bought, thank you Randall, a 1980s vintage Mattel Masters of the Universe spear lance weapon. And these both sold for, well, actually they were separate, so let me start. So the first one was $4 plus ship, and then the second one was $3.18 plus shipping to boot. So these were actually shipped together. I'm not sure why that. Maybe I combined them and then it didn't show it rather than him combining it. I don't know. But he did get the two there. So that already had went out. And then next up we had some media sell. Yes, indeed. We sold the Foo Fighters. There Is Nothing Left to Lose CD from 2019. And this one went out to Fabiola. Thank you so much. And it sold for $5 plus ship. So people were taking advantage then of the March discount and onward into April. I'm not sure what the Madcap Toys regular site is on the coupon. I haven't asked Daren really yet, but the one at Madcap Toys Plus is 10% off all month. So we're starting afresh. Also, guys, you probably got your codes for your shipping supplies already. I checked mine out. I have the coupon code, and it's good until June 30th. So I'll be doing some ordering very, very soon on that, once I know what I need the worst, for sure. Next up from the G.I. Joes, 2020 new Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes Collector Action Figure. It was found on Adeline 4. Hey, Adeline, if you're watching. And this one went out to Zoltane. Thank you so much. And it sold for $23.79 plus ship. So a little bit of a discount. Probably sent an offer, and they took it. And we're continuing to sell these little Trailblazer dolls from a Target pallet buy. This is the Piccolina Trailblazer Frida Kahlo plush doll, new with tag, also sealed in plastic. We have, again, 12 of these left. And it's sold to, and I got positive feedback. So thank you, Diane, so much for that. And it sold for $5.50 plus ship. And then more clothing from our Target palettes. This is the cat, and I love these. These are tie-dye. They're so adorable, especially for spring. They have those pastel colors. Cat and Jack, girls, pull-on leggings, tie-dye, size large. This pair went out to Sherry. Hey, Sherry, thanks so much for stopping in. And this pair sold for $7.99 plus ship. We do have one in large yet still available, and other sizes as well. So check those out. Really pretty to wear in the springtime for sure. And more media. We sold the 1994 live throwing Cooper Radioactive record. Actually a CD, but it says Radioactive Records. Found in the shed, and Corey took advantage of the March discount we had. Thank you, Corey. And it sold for $3.98 plus ship. And we're still selling comics. We still have thousands of comics. This one went out to Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Thank you so much. And this was the 1997 DC Comics Lobo, the Dance of Death, number 42. And this one sold. Daren did a really good discount on this one because it had if you see it, a 50% or a 50-cent tag on the front, right on the comic, which is no good. You try to tear that thing off, it would tear the front page up, the front cover. But this sold for $1.98 plus ship, and we still made money on that. Not a lot, but we've made money on that to get it through for sure. Because we usually buy comics in big lots. All right, next up from the media. So lots of media today. 2007 new DVD sealed. Paramount Pictures Zodiac. This was found on the media shelf. And this one went out to Douglas. Thank you so much, Douglas. And this one sold for $6.98 plus ship. And then next up, we've had this one for a while, a good while, but this one, it was a little bit more expensive than others because we purchased it, we paid up a little bit more for it than we usually do. And this has been here a little bit a while, so we wanted to move it. Marvel X-Men Evolution Nightcrawler with Mutant. Jim Sizer action figure found on Peyton Shelf 4 over here. Hey, Peyton, if you're watching. This one's going out to Ed. Ed, thank you so much. Took advantage of the March discount at the end of the month. And this one sold for $62.99 plus ship. Very, very good. And then we keep selling those Croc Charms, guys, from WayVR. 13-piece designer Croc Charms for girls. And we have 29 boxes of these left. I think I have one over here in the shed, just sitting here. This one went out to Gloria. Thank you so much, Gloria. Found on the Jordan shelf. And this box sold for $7 plus ship. And let's see. And then from our die caster, we're selling some die cast off, guys. This came from a big buy Daren did several years ago in our last store in Bedford, our brick and mortar. He had purchased a bunch of die casts from a guy that just wanted to stop collecting. This is the Mint on Card 2013 M2 Machines Auto Drivers 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. And this went out to Russell. Thank you so much, Russell. Took advantage of the discount at the end of the month. And it sold for $15.95 plus ship. And then Daren just put this on very recently, I think about a month ago or less. This is one of the many loose G.I. Joes vehicles he still has to put on. He's got a bunch still in the death pile. This is the 1989 Hasbro G.I. Joe Hammer Humvee vehicle. Found out in the shed. This one went out to Marlise. Thank you so much, Marlise. And this one sold for $12.78 plus ship. So we did a deal. It wasn't fully complete, and we were just trying to move product out of the way. So it was just sitting there, and we wanted to get it to move. And lastly, we got already a positive feedback on this one. This one was really nice. Found this in the G.I. Joe tote. This is the, or actually no, sorry, take that back. It was found in the Star Wars tote because it's Star Wars. It had green on, so you know, it was easy to mistake. 1983 vintage Kenner Return of the Jedi Star Wars Endo Rebel Soldier. This one went out to Quentin. Hey Quentin, thanks so much for buying and shopping with us. And this one sold for $8.78 plus shipping to boot. Thank you so much for that. So 14 items that had went out. Many have returned us feedback. Before I hit record, I actually found a couple of items that sold that I got to get out in the AM either tomorrow or Monday. One of them looks like it's Newsboys, a CD I just barely listed about a couple of days ago. And this one's really nice. This one's the Boba Fett prototype armor I found over here in the Danny shelf. My late grandson, we honored him by giving him a shelf over here. And this one has a tag of $79.96, but I think Daren did take a mini discount on it to move it forward because the prices just fluctuate up and down. And we do have a little bit of space on the shelf now, so we're just kind of pricing things to move. Still making a lot of money, but kind of moving things as quickly as we can. I don't got anything else to say, guys. I'm going to get this video that you're watching edited so you can see it tonight. Also going to sit there and find and start fulfilling, because we've got at least 4 items on Madcap Toys Plus, about 4 or 5 that just happened on the regular Madcap Toys, and 1 on Mercari to kind of get it scruffled up to see if we can get a Saturday shipment out. But you guys have been fantastic. Stay safe out there, and until next time, bye-bye.